15.4.18 sub. 15.5 welding commands, common use. 15.5.1 ARC-off. Format SQRT, variable 1, variable 2, function square root function. It calculates a square root of the value of variable 2 and assigns the result to variable 1. Variable 1 assign the result to this variable. GR, LR. Variable 2 calculation or variable, of the same type. Lock condition none. Example calculate square root of 2 and then assign the result to LR001. SQRT LR0012. Format sub, variable 1, variable 2, function operation of subtraction. It subtracts the value of variable 2 from variable 1. Variable 1 refer to this variable and assign the result to the variable. GB, LB, GI, LI, GL, LL, GR, LR, grand. Lock condition none. Variable 2 subtraction value or variable, of the same type. Example subtract 10 from LR001. Sub LR001, 10. Notes if a variable is used to represent subtraction value, the variable of the same type should be applied. Format ARC-off, file name, release equals, table, function it ends the welding operation. Write a series of ARC end procedures, such as turning off the torch switch, in a file, and use this command to specify the file name. 5 sample files. ARCSend1 to ARCSend5, a factory registered at shipment. File name of the ARC end operation file. Table ARC end condition table number. 0 to 5. Set 0, 0, if you do not need to execute wire stick check and wire auto retract at the end of welding. Lock condition ARC lock, internal execution. Example execute ARCSend1 file to end welding operation with no wire stick release. ARC off ARCSend1 release equals O commands. OM10090882E17233. 15.5.2 ARC on. 15.5.3 GASDELAYOFF. 15.5.4 GASVALVE. Format ARC-on, file name, process equals, table, function it starts welding operation. Write a series of ARC start procedures, such as turning on the torch switch, in a file, and use this command to specify the file name. 5 sample files. ARCStart1 to ARCStart5, a factory registered at shipment. File name of the file for ARC start operation. Table ARC end condition table number. 0 to 5. Set 0, 0, if you do not need to execute retry at the end of welding. Lock condition ARC lock, internal execution. Execute when ARC lock is released before executing the ARC of command. Example execute ARCStart1 file to start welding operation with no retry. ARC on ARCStart1 process equals 0. Format GASDELAYOFFT equals timer, function it closes the gas valve after a lapse of the preset time. This command does not stop the robot. While executing the next commands, it counts time and closes the gas valve when the preset time passed. Timer time before stopping gas. Direct value, GR, LR, 0.0099.99 S. Lock condition ARC lock example close the gas valve in 5 seconds. GASDELAYOFFT equals 5.00. Notes, used together with GASVALVE on command. This GASDELAYOFF command itself does not turn on the gas valve. In case that the variable assigned in the argument is out of the allowable set range, round it. If the variable exceeds the range, apply the maximum value, and if the variable is below the range, apply the minimum value. In case the weld method is powder plasma welding, the error, W0520 welder is different, occurs. Format GASVALVE, on, off, function it opens or closes the gas valve. On, off on, open the gas valve. Lock condition ARC lock. Off. Close the gas valve. Example, open the gas valve. GASVALVE on commands. 234 OM1009082E17. 15.5.5 if ARC. 15.5.6 STICKCHK. 15.5.7 TORCHSW. 15.5.8 weight ARC. 15.5.9 WIREFWD. Format: if ARC equals on, off, then execute 1, else execute 2. Function: it applies different actions depending on whether or not the ARC is generated. On, off ARC state on. ARC is on, off. No ARC, execute 1, an instruction to be executed if the condition is satisfied. Select from jump, call, or knock. Knock condition ARC lock, internal execution. Execute 2, an instruction to be executed if the condition is not satisfied. Select from jump, call, or knock. Example: if ARC generation is detected, jump to LABL0001, otherwise, execute the next command. If ARC equals on, then jump label 0001, else, knock. Note: ARC lock is considered as condition satisfied, therefore, execution 1 inch will be executed. Application examples available in section, appendix. Format: STICKCHK, on, off. Function: it starts or terminates the stick check. Operation: on, off, on. Start the stick check. Off. Terminate the stick check. Lock condition ARC lock. Example: start the stick check. STICKCHK on. Format: TORCHSW. Function: it turns on or off the torch switch. On, off, on. Turn on the torch switch. Lock condition ARC lock. Off. Turn off the torch switch. Example: turn on the torch switch. TORCHSW on. Format: wait ARC function: it stops operation until ARC generation, or current flow, is detected. ARC detect command. Lock condition ARC lock. Example: stop the processing until ARC generate is detected. Wait ARC. Format: WIREFWD, on, off. Function: it starts or terminates the wire forward. Feed. On, off, on. Feed wire. Off. Terminate wire feed. Lock condition ARC lock. Do not lock if, do not lock WIREFWD, WIRERWD execution, is set to valid. Example: start wire forward feeding. WIREFWD on commands. OM1009082E17235. 15.5.10 WIRERWD. 15.5.11 WLDSPD. 15.5.12 WLDSPDSLP. 15.5.13 WPLS. Format: WIRERWD, on, off. Function: it starts or terminates wire backward feed. On, off, on. Start wire retraction. Off. Terminate wire retraction. Lock condition ARC lock. Do not lock if, do not lock WIREFWD, WIRERWD execution, is set to valid. Example: start wire backward feeding. WIRERWD on. Format: WLDSPD equals speed. Function: it specifies a welding speed. Speed set value. 0.01 maximum speed, asterisk, m per minute, asterisk. The maximum speed varies with robot manipulator model. Lock condition none, executable in the weld-off state. Example: set the welding speed to 0.50 meters per minute. WLDSPD equals 0.50. Note: it changes welding speed in the weld section. Format: WLDSPDSLP, speed, slope section, equals, value, function: it gradually changes the welding speed of the specified slope section to the specified target speed. Speed target speed, unit, m per minute, slope section. Definition of slope section. d equals, time. d equals, distance next, to the next step. Lock condition none, executable in the weld-off state. Value or variable. t equals, time, 0.019,999.99, st equals, distance, 0.019,999.99, next, no value. Example: change the weld speed to 0.80 meters per minute in 50 millimeters. WLDSPDSLP 0.80 meters per minute, d equals 50 millimeters. Note: to execute this command together with the slope command of welding conditions, register WLDSPD SLP command and then ARCSLP command in this order. After the completing this command, the welding operation is executed at the speed specified by this command until the end of the current weld section or until the welding speed is changed. If the slope section defined either by time or distance exceeds the next teaching point, the slope section is automatically corrected to the next teaching point. This command is applicable with the external axis harmonic movement function and multi-cooperative robot control. Format: WPLS, on, off, function. It specifies whether to apply the pulse. Control, on, or not, off. On, off, on. Apply the pulse control. Off. Not to apply the pulse control. Lock condition: arc lock, internal execution, example: turn on the pulse control. WPLS on commands. 236 OM1009082E17. 15.6 weld commands, for GMAW. 15.6.1 ADJRST. 15.6.2 AMP. 15.6.3 ARCSET. Format: ADJRST function. It resets the wave adjust data to the default. Lock condition: arc lock, internal execution. Example: ADJRST. Format: AMP, amperage, function. It specifies a welding current. Amperage welding amperage, 1 to 999, a lock condition: arc lock, internal execution, specify val. Use. Example: sets the welding amperage to 200 A. AMP equals 200. Format: ARCSET. AMP equals, amperage, volt equals, voltage, S equals, speed, function. It specifies welding conditions. Amperage welding current. 1 to 999 A. Voltage welding voltage. 0. 1 to 99.9 V. Lock condition: arc lock, internal execution, specify val. Use. Speed welding speed. 0.01 max. Speed, asterisk, m per minute. Max. Speed varies with manipulator model. Example: set parameters to perform welding operation with welding current at 180 A, welding voltage at 20 volts, and speed at 0.5 meters per minute. ARCSET A equals 180 volts equals 20 S equals 0.50. Notes: the STD button is available in both unification, individual settings, arc welding machine settings. Click it to obtain voltage from the unification data table. This STD button is not displayed in the following conditions. If the applied welding power source does not support unification mode. If no welder characteristics is selected for the currently editing program. If welding current is out of the setting range, no corresponding value to the welding current exists in the data table, therefore, clicking the STD button does not change anything. Commands. OM1009082E17237. 15.6.4 ARCSLP. 15.6.5 BBKPULSE. 15.6.6 BBKTIME. Format: ARCSLP. AMP equals, amperage, volt equals, voltage, slope section, equals, value, function. It gradually changes the welding conditions of the slope section to the specified target conditions. Amperage target amperage. 1 to 999, a voltage target voltage. 0. 1 to 99.9, a. Lock condition none slope section definition of slope section. T equals, time D equals, distance next, to the next step. Value T equals, time, 0.019999.99 s. D equals, distance, 0.019999.99 mm next, no value. Example ARCSLP AMP equals 180 volt equals 23.0 next. Format BBKPULSE, value, function it adjusts the pulse number for burn back. Pulse processing at the end of pulsed welding in TAWERS system. Value, pulse number adjusting value for burn back pulsed processing. -10 to +10 times the value is added to the system setting value. Executing this command with the value at +1 twice does not result in +2. It results in +1. Increase the value to increase burn back amount, which can reduce the occurrence of the wire stick. Lock condition none. Execute even in arc lock, IO lock and robot lock. Set parameters. Example adjust the pulse number for the burn back pulse processing at the end of pulsed welding in TAWERS system by +1. BBKPULSE +1. Notes, with TIG welding settings, the error, W0520 welder is different, occurs. With no pulse welding, if the ENDPLS command is executed to terminate the pulse number is fine-tuned. Application examples are available in section, appendix, of the operating instructions of the teach pendant. Format BBKTIME, value, function it adjusts the burn back time. Increase the value to extend the wire burning time, which reduces the occurrence of a wire stick. Decrease it to shorten the wire burning time, which as a result reduces the occurrence of the tip burn back. Value TAWERS, GZ4, 100 to +100. Other welders, -20 to +20. The value is added to the system setting value. Executing this command with the value at +1 twice does not result in +2. It results in +1. With welders other than full digital welders, if the value is out of the range from -10 to +10, the value is rounded down to -10 or +10 respectively. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution. Example adjust the system setting value by +1. BBKTIME +1 commands. 238 OM1009082E17. 15.6.7 CDM. 15.6.8 crater. 15.6.9 Eli. Format CDM, on, off, default, function it turns on, off the CDM, current detect. Mask, function. On apply the CDM function. If the current is detected during wire slowdown operation, the welder stops wire feeding and waits for arc generation. Once arc is generated, the welder switches the wire speed to the steady speed. Off not to apply the CDM function. If the current is detected during wire slowdown operation, the robot immediately switches the wire speed to steady rate. Lock condition none default return to the original settings of the applied welder. Default may not be indicated depending on the applied welder model. Example turn on the CDM function. CDM on. Notes, the on-off state once switched is retained after the end of operation. The on-off state does not support the resume function. Format crater AMP equals, amperage, volt equals, voltage, T equals, timer, function it specifies crater welding conditions. Amperage crater welding amperage. 1 to 999, A. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution, set val. Use. Voltage crater welding voltage. 0. 1 to 99.9, V. Timer crater welding time. 0.0099.99, S. Example set parameters for crater welding operation for 0.2 seconds with current at 120 A and voltage at 16 volts. Crater A equals 120 volts equals 16 T equals 0.2. Format ELI, value.
मुझे दुनिया कहे पागल, मैं भीम का दीवाना हूँ, मैं भीम का दीवाना, मुझे दुनिया कहे पागल, मैं भीम का दीवाना हूँ.
Function it adjusts reactance. Value TAWERS, GZ4, 50 to plus 50. Increase the value for smaller reactance and harder arc feeling. Reduce the value for larger reactance and softer arc feeling. Lock condition none. Update the parameter even in arc lock and robot lock. Example adjust the system setting value.